धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य दिशितारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामा राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामा राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय जगद्गुरु श्रील प्रभुपदा निताय गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, निताय गौर हरि बोल। Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining. So let's continue our reading.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna.
माताजी।
Hare Krishna. जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा। श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय, श्रील कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री गुरु महाराज की जय। हरे कृष्णा। Hare Krishna. So we are on the 9th chapter, the deliverance of Gopinath Patnaik. And we read yesterday how Gopinath Patnaik got into trouble because he had said something to the prince which irritated him. And though his mistake was not so big, he did owe some money to the government, which he had not repaid, but he had the intention to repay it. He wanted to sell his horses for a fair price, and then whatever balance was there, he was willing to pay that. But because the prince got irritated, so he was raised on a janga and he was just about to be killed. Then you know how lots of devotees approach Lord Chaitanya, and then Lord Chaitanya says that I am just a sannyasi. You know, what can I do about these worldly matters? You should all pray to Lord Jagannath. And then we read that how the king is finally approached, and the king then says that my intention was, I mean, I didn't know that there was any plan to kill him, and then finally his life is saved. Gopinath Patnaik's life is saved. And then we read that Kashi Mishra meets Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Chaitanya is a little disturbed, and he says that I'm not getting any peace here in Jagannath Puri. I think I'll just move to Alalnath because all these worldly matters are being brought to me. So then Kashi Mishra starts specifying the Lord. And what he does is that he starts quoting examples of devotees who are not at all materially influenced or materially motivated. And the first example he gives is that of Ramanand Rai, the brother of Gopinath Patnaik, and he says that it is only for your sake that Ramanand Rai resigned from the governorship of South India. And then he says that Sanatan Goswami gave up his post as minister. So this is verse 70 that we read yesterday. Today we'll read how he gives more examples and tries to pacify Lord Chaitanya. And then we'll see that the king is also he is also brought into the picture, Maharaj Pratap Rudra. Then what is his reaction, and then what happens further? We'll read into today's section. Yeah, Gandhi Mati Mataji, you can read Mataji, 5 verses.
Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Text 71. Mataji, little scroll, Mataji. 71. Okay. Okay, Mataji. तोमालागे रघुनाथ सकल चडिला हेतय तहर पिता विषय पातैला. Translation Jai Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation: It is for your sake that Raghunatha Dasa gave up all his family relationships. His father sent money and men here to serve him. Text 72. Tomara charana kripa hana tahera chatre magi kaya vishaya sparsha nahi kare. Translation: However, because he has received the mercy of your lotus feet, he does not even accept his father's money. Instead, he eats by begging alms from centers for the distribution of food. Text 73. Ramanandera Bai Gopinatha Mahashaya Toma Haite Vishaya Vancha Tara Ichanaya. Translation: Gopinatha Patnayaka is a good gentleman. He does not desire material benefits from you. Hare Krishna. Text 74. Tara Tukka Deki Tara Seva Kadi Gana Tomare Janaila Yati Ananya Sharana. Translation: It is not Gopinatha who sent all those men so that you would release him from the plight, rather his friends and servants, seeing his distressed condition, informed you because they all knew that Gopinatha is a soul surrendered unto you. Text 75. Sei Suda Bhakta Yei Toma Bhaje Toma Lagi Apanara Sukha Dukhe Haya Bhoga Bhogi. Translation: Gopinatha Patnayaka is a pure devotee who worships you only for your satisfaction. He does not care about his personal happiness or distress, for that is the business of a materialist. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. So Kashi Mishra is trying to pacify the Lord, and he's giving examples of devotees who are totally surrendered to Lord Chaitanya. And he says that Ramanand Rai had given up the South India post of governorship. Sanatan Goswami gave up his post of minister. Raghunath Das, he's from such a big family. He gave up all his family relationships. His father had even sent men and money for him, but he did not take any of that. Because he has received the mercy of your lotus feet, he did not accept any of that. And he's just begging alms and surviving. And then he says that Gopinath Patnaik is a good person, he's a gentleman. He does not have any desire for material benefits. And it was not he who had sent all those men to you to save him. It was his friends and servants who were very troubled seeing him in that condition, distressed condition. So they informed you because they all knew that Gopinath is a soul surrendered unto you. So that is why that request was brought to you. And he is actually a pure devotee who worships you only for your satisfaction. He is not caring about his personal happiness or distress. So Kashi Mishra is trying to pacify the Lord, and he is giving examples of devotees who are totally surrendered to Lord Chaitanya. And he says that Ramanand Rai had given up the South India post of governorship. Sanatan Goswami gave up his post of minister. Raghunatha Das, he was from such a big family. He So he's telling Lord Chaitanya that Gopinath is not a materialist. It's not like he had any ill intentions, and he did not come and trouble you to save him, my Lord. So it was his other associates who actually came to you. Okay. Yeah, Sumati Mataji, next five
Hare
verses.
Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna.
Text 76. तुम्हारा अनुकंपा चाहे भज अनुक्षणा अचिरात मिले तारे तुम्हारा चरणा. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One who engages in your devotional service 24 hours a day, desiring only your mercy, will very soon attain shelter at your lotus feet. Text 77. Tatte anukampa सुसमीक्षमाणो पुञ्जान एवात्मकृतं विपाकम् हृद्वाग्वपुर्भिर्विददन् नमस्ते जीवेत यो मुक्तिपदे सदाय भाक्. Translation. One who seeks your compassion and thus tolerates all kinds of adverse conditions due to the karma of his past deeds, who engages always in your devotional service with his mind, words, and body, and who always offers obeisances unto you, is certainly a bona fide candidate for becoming your unalloyed devotee. Purport. This is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.14.8. Text 78. एता तुमीवसि रहा केने याबे alalan alalanata keha tomana shunabhe vishayirabhat. Translation. Kindly stay here at Jagannathapuri. Why should you go to Alalanata? Henceforward, no one will approach you about material affairs. Text 17. यदि वा तुम्हारा तारे राखीते हाया माना आजी ये राखीला सेवी करीबे रक्षणा. Translation. Finally, Kashi Mishra told the Lord, if you want to give protection to Gopinatha, then Lord Jagannatha, who protected him today, will also protect him in the future. Text 80. Eta bali Kashi Mishra गेला स्वमंदिरे मध्याने प्रताप रुद्रा आइला तारा घरे. Translation. After saying this, Kashi Mishra left the abode of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and returned to his own temple. At noon, King Prataparudra came to Kashi Mishra's home. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. So Kashi Mishra continues talking to the Lord, and he says that Gopinath Patnaik is a soul surrendered unto you. And then he's talking about pure devotional service, that one who engages in your devotional service 24 hours a day, desiring only your mercy, will very soon attain shelter at your lotus feet. So this is the glorification of taking shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. And then this very beautiful verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, it's a very famous verse, which says that one who seeks your compassion and thus tolerates all kinds of adverse conditions due to the karma of his past deeds, who engages always in your devotional service with his mind, words, and body, and who always offers obeisances unto others, is certainly a bona fide candidate for becoming your unalloyed devotee. So, who is that person who can attain unalloyed devotional service to Lord Krishna? One who is not disturbed by what is happening in one's life and just understands that if there are any adversities that are coming, it is just because of one's own past karma, tolerates that, and always engages in the devotional service of the Lord with one's mind, body, and words. So, this is a very important understanding, very important lesson to be taken. And then Kashi Mishra is requesting the Lord that please you stay here in Puri. Don't go to Aralnath, and no one from now on, nobody will disturb you about material things. And you are thinking, and if you want to give protection, you said that if you want to give protection to Gopinath, then Lord Jagannath, who protected him today, he will also protect him in the future, because Lord Chaitanya had said that today Lord Jagannath protected him. What if something like this happens in the future? Then what will happen? So Kashi Mishra is saying that today Lord Jagannath protected, in the future also Lord Jagannath will only protect. So in this way, Kashi Mishra says these pacifying words to the Lord, and then he goes to his place. And then King Pratap Rudra comes to Kashi Mishra's house in the afternoon. So the capital of the kingdom was elsewhere, but whenever Maharaj Pratap Rudra would come to Puri, he would definitely meet Kashi Mishra. So this is their meeting here. Okay, let's move forward. Sudha Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी,
Hare
दंडवत
Krishna.
प्रणाम। प्रतापरुद्रेरैक आच्छाय नियमे यत दिन रहे तेहा श्री पुरुषोत्तमे। Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As long as King Prataparudra stayed in Purushottama, he performed one regular duty. Text 82. नित्य आसी करे मिश्रेरा पाद संवाहना जगन्नाथ सेवारा करे धियाना श्रवण। Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. He would come daily to the house of Kashi Mishra to massage his lotus feet. The king would also hear from him about how opulently Lord Jagannath was being served. Text 83. राजा मिश्रेरा चरण यबे चापीते लागिला तबे मिश्रा तारे किचो भंगीते कहिला। Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When the king began pressing his lotus feet, Kashi Mishra informed him about something through hints. Text 84. देवशून आर एक अपारूप बाती महाप्रभु क्षेत्र छाड़ी या बेना आलानाथा। Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear king, he said, please hear one uncommon item of news. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants to leave Jagannath Puri and go to Alalnath. Text 85. शूनी राजा दुखी हैला पूछी लेना कारणा तबे मिश्रा कहे तारे सब विवरणा। Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When the king heard that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was going to Alalnath, he was very unhappy and inquired about the reason. Then Kashi Mishra informed him of all the details. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So I was just checking that who was Kashi Mishra in Lord Krishna's pastimes. So he was actually Kubja. You all know the story of Kubja, right? She
Yes,
meets
Mataji.
Yes,
Lord
Mataji.
Yes,
Krishna.
Yes,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Kashi Mishra was actually Kubja. Yeah, that's a very interesting list. Here you go. Yeah, okay. So going forward, it's mentioned that whenever King Pratap Rudra was in Purushottam Kshetra, he performed one regular duty, and that was that he would come daily to the house of Kashi Mishra to massage his lotus feet. So, I mean, the king is giving so much respect to Kashi Mishra, so his position is very elevated. And then he would also hear from him about the opulent service, the seva of Lord Jagannath. So we know that Maharaj Pratap Rudra is a very wonderful devotee. So he's having great pleasure in hearing about Lord Jagannath, and also he wants to serve devotees. Now, at this point, because see, whenever there is something that is running in our mind and, which is really troubling us, when we meet someone who's close to us, that thing comes out, right? We naturally talk about that thing. And especially if someone close to us has something to do with that whole interaction. That is the case here, right? I mean, Lord Chaitanya has just told Kashi Mishra that I want to leave because of all these problems that are taking place. And Maharaj Pratap Rudra, even though indirectly, but he is involved in this whole interaction. So Kashi Mishra has this on his mind. And so he hints it to Maharaj Pratap Rudra that something very uncommon happened today. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he wants to leave Jagannath Puri and he wants to go to Alalnath. Now we know about the great attachment that Maharaj Pratap Rudra has for Lord Chaitanya. And you know how much desperate he was to get the mercy and the association of Lord Chaitanya. And now hearing that Lord Chaitanya wants to leave that place and go to Alalnath, so naturally he's very concerned. and he's very unhappy, and he inquires what is the reason. And then Kashi Mishra gives all the details, what all happened. Okay. Yeah. So let's move forward. Padma Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pronouns. Text 82.
86.
Nityashi. Am I right,
86.
Mataji? Yeah,
86,
sorry,
please.
Yeah, Mata, sorry, my page turned. Gopinath Patanayake Yabe Kangi Chadaila Tare Sevaka Saba Asi Prabhure Kahila. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. When Gopinath Patanayaka was lifted onto the Kanga, he said, all his servants went to inform Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Text 87. Suniya Shobhita Haila Mahaprabhu Ramana Krodhe Gopinathe Kaila Bahota Barstana. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hearing this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was extremely sorry at heart, and in anger he chastised Gopinath Patanayak. Text 88. Ajitendriya hana kare Raja Vishaya Nana aste pathe kare Raja Dravya Vyavaya. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Because he is mad after some sense gratification, the Lord said, he acts as a government servant but spends the government's revenue for various sinful activities. Text 89. Brahmasva adhikai haya rajadana taha hari bhoga kare mahapapi jana. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The revenue of the government is more sacred than the property of a Brahmana. One who misappropriates the government's money and uses it to enjoy sense gratification is more sinful. Text 90. Rajara Vartana Khaya Ara Kuri Kare Raja Dandya Se Sastrera Vichare. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. One who serves the government but misappropriates the government's revenue is liable to be punished by the king. That is the verdict of all revealed scriptures. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So, Kashi Mishra tells that, what all happened and how Gopinath Patnaik was lifted onto the Changa. Then all his servants rushed to inform Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he was very sorry at heart, and in anger, he was chastising Gopinath Patnaik that one should not be mad after sense gratification. And he's acting as a government servant, but he's spending the government's revenue on sinful activities. And then the revenue of the government should never be misappropriated. It is more sacred than the property of a Brahman. And one who misappropriates the government's money and uses it to enjoy sense gratification is most sinful. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that if he has misappropriated the money of the government, then he is liable to be punished by the king. That is the verdict of all revealed scriptures. So Kashi Mishra is narrating this entire thing to Maharaj Prataparudra. Okay. Yeah, let's move forward. Swati Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dhanot
Nija kaudi mage raja nahi kare danda raja mahad dharmika yei hai papi dhanda. Translation by Prabhupada Ki Jai. The king wanted his revenue paid and did not want to enforce punishment. Therefore, the king is certainly very religious, but Gopinatha Patnaika is great cheat. Mataji. Raja ka dina deya amare pukere yehi maha dukha ihan kehi sahi te thare. Translation by Prabhupada Ki Jai. He does not pay the revenue to the king, but he wants my help for release. This is a greatly sinful affair. I cannot tolerate it here. आलालनाथायि ताः निश्चयन्ते रहिमो विषयैरफलमन्द वर्तन शून्यमो. Translation by Shri Prabhupada. Therefore, I shall leave Jagannath Puri and go to Alalanatha, where I shall live peacefully, not hear about these affairs of materialistic people. एतशुनि कहे राजा पान माने व्यथा तब द्रव्य छाड़ोन यदि प्रभु रहे न ऐसा. Translation by Shri Prabhupada. When the king Prataprudra heard all these details, he felt great pain in his mind. I shall give up all that is due from Gopinatha Patnayaka, he said, if Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will stay here at Jagannath Puri. यही क्षण प्रभुरा यदि पाए दर्शना कोटि चिंतामणि लाभा नाहे तारा सामा. Translation by Shri Prabhupada. If even for a moment I could get an interview with Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I would not care for the profit of millions of Chintamani stones.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji.
Thank you.
Dandavat. So, Chaitanya, then Kashi Mishra is continuing further that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that the king is very religious, and if there is some revenue that is due, then and it is not paid, then the king can enforce punishment. But Gopinath Patnaik is a great cheat in this way. The narration continues that, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that, he's asking for my help for release. And he does not pay revenue to the king, and he's asking for my help. So I cannot stay here. I cannot continue here. So I'll leave Jagannath Puri and I'll go to Alalnath, where I shall live peacefully, and I don't have to hear about all these affairs of these materialistic people. Now we can imagine what Maharaj Pratap Rudra would be feeling, right? So he says that he's in great pain in his mind, and he says that whatever is due from Gopinath Patnaik, I'll just give all that up. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu should just stay here in Jagannath Puri. That's most important. And he says that the interview, if I could just meet Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even for one moment, that is more precious than the profit of millions of Chintamani stones. So what to speak of the wealth of this, material world? He doesn't even care for Chintamani stones. Just one moment of association with Lord Chaitanya is so, so very powerful. So this is the heart of Maharaj Prataparudra. Yeah, let's move forward. Uma Devi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Pranam.
Text 96. Konchara padharta ye dui laksha kahana prana rajya kara prabhu pade nirmanchana. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I do not care about this small sum of 2 lakhs kahanas. What to speak of this? I would indeed sacrifice everything at the lotus feet of the Lord, including my life and kingdom. Text 97. Mishra kahe kaudi chatipa nahe prabhu ramana tara dukha paya eina yaya sahana. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Kashi Mishra hinted to the king, it is not the Lord's desire that you forfeit the payment. He is unhappy only because the whole family is troubled. Text 98. राजा कहे तारे आमी धोखा नहीं दिए चांगे चढ़ा खड्गे धरा आमी ना जानिए. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The king replied, I had no desire to give pain to Gopinath Patnaik and his family, nor did I know about his being lifted onto the changa to be thrown on the swords and killed. Text 99. Purushottama janare tena kaila parihasa seyi jana tare te kaila mitya trasa. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. He sneered at Purushottama Jana Jana. Therefore, the prince tried to scare him at a punishment. Text 100. तुम्ही यहाँ प्रभु रे रखना यत्न करी यही मुई तहारे जादिनु सबक चकौदी. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Go personally to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and keep him at Jagannath Puri with great attention. I shall excuse Gopinath Patnaik from all his steps. Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you, Mataji. Dandavat Pranam. So Maharaj Pratap Rudra says that I do not care about this small sum. It's 200 kahanas. What to speak of this? My whole life, my whole kingdom, everything. I would sacrifice everything at the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. So Kashi Mishra says that no, Lord Chaitanya does not want that you forfeit the payment. That means you just, absolve him of that debt. He's not asking for that. It's just that his whole family was troubled, and that is why the Lord is unhappy. And Maharaj Prataprudra is obviously feeling that pain. He says that I had no desire to give pain to Gopinath Patnaik and his family, and I had no idea that he was raised on the changa over swords to be killed. It is the prince who was just trying to scare him as a punishment because he had irritated Purushottam Jana. And then he says that he tells Kashi Mishra that you please go to Lord Chaitanya, keep him at Jagannath Puri. I will excuse Gopinath Patnaik from all his debts. Okay? Yeah, let's move forward. Radhika Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
मिश्रा काहे कौदी छादी पा नाही प्रभु रमानी कौदी छादीला प्रभु कदाची दुका माने. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Jai. Hare Krishna. Kashi Mishra said, excusing Gopinath Patnaik of all his debts will make the Lord unhappy, for that is not his intention. Raja kahe kaudi chadi mu ihana kahiba sahaje mure priya taraiya jani aiba. Translation. The king said, I shall absolve Gopinath Patnaik of all his debts, but don't speak of this to the Lord. Let him know that all the family members of Bhavananda Rai, including Gopinath Patnaik, are naturally my dear friends. Hare Krishna. Bhavananda Raya Amara Puja Garbita Tara Putra Gani Amara Sahaje Prita. Bhavananda Rai is worthy of my worship and respect. Therefore, I am always naturally affectionate to his sons. Etabali Mishra Namaskari Raja Gare Gela Gopinatha Bada Janaya Dakiya Aniyala. After offering obeisances to Kashi Mishra, the king returned to his palace and called for both Gopinath and the eldest prince. Raja kahe chaba kaudi tomara chadilu sei mala chatya danda pata tomara dilu. The king told Gopinath Patnaik, you are excused for all the money you owe the treasury, and the place known as Mala Jatya Danda Pata is again given to you for collection.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So Gopinath Patnaik is, that's the desire of Maharaj Prataparudra to just excuse him of all his debts. And Kashi Mishra says that if you do this, if you excuse Gopinath Patnaik of all his debts, this may make the Lord unhappy because this is not his intention. And the king said that, okay, you don't speak of this to the Lord. Don't tell the Lord that I'm doing this, but I shall absolve Gopinath Patnaik of all his debts. Don't tell Lord Chaitanya. You just tell him that all the family members of Bhavanand Rai, including Gopinath Patnaik, are naturally my dear friends. So he does not want to upset Lord Chaitanya, but he does want to pacify the Lord to stay in Jagannath Puri. So he's saying that all the members of Bhavanand Rai's family, they are my dear friends. And Bhavanand Rai is a very respectable person. He is worthy of my worship and respect. And I'm naturally affectionate to his sons. And in this way, after offering obeisances to Kashi Mishra, the king returns to his palace. He calls for both Gopinath Patnaik and the eldest prince. So both of them who were involved in that interaction. He calls both of them and he tells Gopinath Patnaik that all the money that you owe to the treasury, you are excused of that. And that place of Malajatiya Dandapata is again given to you for collections. So that is the place where he was doing all the collections for the government. So Maharaj Pratap Rudra says that first of all your debts are absolved, it's cleared, you're excused of that, and you get your position back, you get your job back. Okay, yeah, and then he speaks further. Would someone like to read?
Hare Krishna
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Yeah, Chandana Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna Mataji. आराबारा ऐचेना कहूँ राजधना आजी है ते दिलु तो माया बिगुना वतना. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Do not again misappropriate the revenue of the government. In case you think your salary insufficient, henceforward it will be doubled. Text 107. Eta bali nita dhati tare paraila Prabhu Agnalaya Yaha Vidaya Tomadila. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. After saying this, the king appointed him by offering him a silken wrapper for his body. Go to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said. After taking permission from him, go to your home. I bid you farewell. Now you may go. Text 108. परमार्थे प्रपुरा कृपा से हराहु दूरे अनंत तहारा फला के बलित पारे. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. By the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one can certainly become spiritually advanced. Indeed, no one can estimate the results of his mercy. Text 109. Raja Vishya Phalai Kripara Bhase Tahara Ganana Karo Mane Nahi Aise. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gopinath Patnaika achieved the result of kingly opulence due to but a glimpse of the Lord's mercy. Therefore, no one can calculate the full value of his mercy. Kaha change chadaya laya dhana prana kaha sabachari sehi rajyadi pradana. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gopinath Patnaika was lifted onto the changa to be killed and all his money was taken away, but instead his debts were excused and he was appointed collector in the same place. Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So, when the king calls for the eldest prince and Gopinath Patnaik, first of all, his debt is excused and he gets his job back. And Maharaj Prataparudra just tells him that don't again misappropriate the revenue of the government. If if you think your salary is insufficient, I'll double your salary. And not just that, the king appointed him by offering him a silken wrapper for his body. And he says, go to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and after taking permission from him, then you go home. Now I bid you farewell, you may leave. So here we see Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is saying that here we see that by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, one can certainly become spiritually advanced. Indeed, no one can estimate the results of his mercy. So Lord Chaitanya is so merciful, and he later mentions that Gopinath Patnaik achieves the result of kingly opulence. How? Just by a glimpse of the Lord's mercy. So um, the Lord's sight, the Lord's eyes are so merciful. Just if one gets a glimpse of the Lord's mercy, that can cause so many changes in one's life. Gopinath Patnaik, from what situation he's coming to what situation. He was lifted onto the Changa to be killed. From that state, everything was taken away, his money was taken away, but instead now all his debts are excused. He was appointed collector, his salary is doubled, he's given all that respect, and this is all happening just because the glance, the glimpse of Lord Chaitanya's mercy. Okay. Yeah. Swati Mataji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Mataji. Kahan sarva काहन सर्वस्य ये चिलाय देयनयाय कौदी काहन द्विगुणवर्तना पारयनेत आदि. Translation by Shtaprabha CJ. On one hand, Gopinath Patnaik was unable to clear his debt even by selling all his possessions. But on the other, his salary was doubled and he was honored with a silken wrapper. Prabhura icha nahi tare kaudi chadibe viguna vartana kari puna vishaya dhibe. Translation by Shtaprabha CJ. It was not the desire of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that Gopinath Patnaik be excused for his debt to the government, nor was it his desire that his salary be doubled or what that he be reappointed collector at the same place. तथापि तारासेवकाची कैला निवेदना ताते क्षुब्ध हैला याबे प्रभुरमाना. Translation by Shtaprabha CJ. When Gopinath Patnaik's servant went to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and informed the Lord of his plight, the Lord was somewhat agitated and dissatisfied. विषय सुख दीते प्रभुर नाही मनोबल निवेदन प्रभवेह ताबु फले एला फला. The Lord has no Translation by Shtaprabha CJ. The Lord has no intention of awarding his devotee the happiness of material opulence. It's simply because of his being informed such a great result was obtained. के कहते पारे गौरेरा आश्चर्य स्वभावा ब्रह्म शिव आदि आंध्र न पाया अंतर्भावा. Translation by Shtaprabha CJ. No one can estimate the wonderful characteristics of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva cannot understand the intentions of the Lord.
Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you. So we see the contrast in the situation for Gopinath Patnaik. There was a stage when he was unable to clear his debt even after selling his possessions. But now he gets his job back, his salary is doubled, and he was honored with the silken wrapper. So even though it was not Lord Chaitanya's direct desire that Gopinath Patnaik be excused of his debt to the government, nor that his salary should be doubled or all these things. It's not that Lord Chaitanya wanted all these material opulences to be given to him, but the Lord was agitated and dissatisfied when he heard of the difficult situation that Gopinath Patnaik was in. And the Lord had no intention of awarding his devotee the happiness of material opulence, yet simply because of his being informed, such a great result was obtained. So just the involvement of the Lord in one's life can bring about a sea of change. Like devotees say that we should have a relationship with the Lord. And it's not like everyone will have the same level of attraction to the Lord, and the level of bhakti for everyone will be different. But we should start understanding that the Lord is a person, and we should start involving the Lord more and more in our life, and so that gradually we reach a point where everything in our life revolves around the Lord. That is where we need to go. So, here in this case, when Gopinath Patnaik was in that difficult situation, he was also thinking of the Lord, his family members were thinking of the Lord. And what did all the devotees do? They just thought of going to Lord Chaitanya. So, that is how our mind should be trained, that for everything, good or bad, it should turn to Krishna, to such a point that the mind always stays in Krishna. It doesn't come away from any thoughts of Krishna. Okay, so here then in verse 115, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying that no one can estimate the wonderful characteristics of Lord Chaitanya. Even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva cannot understand the intentions of the Lord. Okay, so he's Achintya. It's very difficult to understand the Lord. Yeah, Sudha Mataji, next 5 verses.
Hare Krishna Mataji,
Hare
Dandat
Krishna.
Pranam.
Pranam.
एता काशी मिश्रा अशी प्रभुरा चरणे राजा चरित्र सभ कैला निवेदने. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki jai. Kashi Mishra went to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and informed him in detail of all the king's intentions. Text 117. Prabhu kahe Kashi Mishra ki tumi karila Raja Pratigraha tumi ama karaila. Translation by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki jai. Upon hearing about Kashi Mishra's tactics with the king, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Kashi Mishra, what have you done? You have made me indirectly take help from the king. Purport. When the king heard the details of Gopinatha Patnayaka's unfortunate condemnation, he was induced to excuse his debt, in particular because he felt that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very sorry, very sorry about this incident. The Lord did not like the idea that the money forfeited to Gopinatha Patnayaka was indirectly a contribution to him. Therefore, he immediately protested. Text 118. मिश्रा कहे सुना प्रभु राजा वचने अकपटे राजा एई कैला निवेदने. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki jai. Kashi Mishra said, My dear Lord, the king has done this without reservations. Kindly hear his statement. Text 119. प्रभु ये ना नाही जाने ना राजा हमारा लागिया 2 लक्ष कहना कौड़ी दिले का छाड़िया. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki jai. The king said, Speak to the Lord in such a way that he will not think. For my sake, the king has forfeited 200 lakhs kahnas of kaudis. Purport. The kaudi is like an American cent or Japanese yen. In the old medium of exchange, the first unit of currency was a small conch shell called a kaudi. 4 kaudis made 1 ganda, 20 gandas made 1 pana, and 16 panas made 1 kahana. Gopinatha Patnayaka owed the government 200 lakh kahanas. The king absolved him of this debt, reappointed him to his post, and doubled his salary. Text 120. Bhavanandera putra sabha mora priyatama iha sabha kare ami deki atma sama. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki jai. Informed Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that all the sons of Bhavananda Rai are especially dear to me. I consider them like members of my family. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So in this section, we are reading that Kashi Mishra goes to Lord Chaitanya and informs him that what are the king's intentions. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says oh Kashi Mishra, what have you done? You have made me indirectly take help from the king, because the thing that what all happened with Gopinath Patnaik, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was informed, and then Kashi Mishra told the king, and then the king completely changed the whole thing. So the Lord is thinking that he did not like the idea that the money forfeited to Gopinath Patnaik was, he thinks that the money that Gopinath Patnaik had to pay now, because that is being excused. So this indirectly becomes a favor to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this becomes indirectly a contribution to the Lord. So the Lord immediately protests. He does not like this idea. But Kashi Mishra says that no, no, my dear Lord, this was done without any reservations. Please hear me out. And the king said that speak to the Lord in such a way that he does not think that the king has forfeited the money for the Lord. So Pratap Rudra Maharaj did not want Lord Chaitanya to think like this, that the money was excused, the payment was excused because of Lord Chaitanya. So he had told Kashi Mishra in that you speak to the Lord in such a way that Lord Chaitanya does not think like this. And he had told Kashi Mishra that you please inform Lord Chaitanya that all the sons of Bhavanand Rai are very dear to me. I consider them as members of my own family. So nobody's intention here is to displease the Lord. Okay, Maharaj Pratap Rudra, he excuses Gopinath Patnaik, but he does not want Lord Chaitanya to think that the king is doing any favor on him, because he's holding the Lord in such great regard that he does not want the Lord to think in this manner. So he told Kashi Mishra that you please tell him that their family, Bhavanand Rai's family, is very dear to me. So whatever I'm doing is for out of love for the family. It's not like I'm doing a favor on Lord Chaitanya. Okay. Moving forward, Krishnamurti Prabhu.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी, प्रणाम माता जी।
Now,
आता एव यः यः देहि अधिकार काया पिये लूते विलय न कोरा न विचारा। Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Therefore, I have appointed them collectors in various places, and although they spend the government's money, eat, drink, plunder, and distribute it as they like, I don't take them very seriously. I do not take them very seriously. Text 122. Raja Mahendra Raja Kainu Rama Raya Ye Kaila Ye Badila Nai Lekha Daya. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. I made Ramananda Raya the governor of Rajamundry. This is practically no account of whatever money he took and distributed in that position. Purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Near Rajamundry is a famous railway station. Srila Bhakti Siddhartha Saraswati notes that the present Rajamundry city is located on the northern bank of the Godavari. At the time when Ramananda Raya was governor, however, the state capital, which was known as Vidyanagara and Vidyapura, was located on the southern side of the Godavari at the confluence of the Godavari and the sea. That was the part of the country which at the time was known as Rajamundry. North of Kalinga Desha is Utkalinga, or the state of Orissa. The capital of southern Orissa was known as Rajamundry, but now the location of Rajamundry has changed. Text 123. Gopinata ye mata विषय करिया दुई चारि लक्ष कहना राहे कहना। Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Having been appointed collector, Gopinath in the same way also generally spends 2 lakhs to 4 lakh kanas as he likes. Text 124. Kicho deya kicho na deya nakari vichara jana sayita aprite dukha pila ye bhara. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Gopinatha Patnaika would collect some and pay some, spending it at will, but I would not consider this very seriously. This time, however, he was put into trouble because of a misunderstanding with the prince. Text 125. Jana yeta kaila iha muit nahi janana bhava nandera putra sabe atma samamanahana. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. The prince created this situation without my knowledge, but actually I consider all the sons of Bhavananda Raya to be like my relatives. Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranams Mataji.
thank you, Prabhu. Pranam. So, Maharaj Prataparudra is giving all these, reasons to Kashi Mishra to tell to Lord Chaitanya, so that Lord Chaitanya does not think that anything the king has done is as a favor to him. So he says that you inform Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that the sons of Bhavanand Rai are very special, very dear to me. They just like my family, and that's why I have appointed them collectors in various places, and I know that they are spending the government's money, they are eating, drinking, plundering also, and distributing it as they like. But I'm not taking it very seriously. And Ramanand Rai, I made him the governor of Rajamundry, and I did not take any account of what money he was spending in that position. And having been appointed collector, Gopinath, in the same way, he also spends 2 lakh to 4 lakh kahanas as he likes. I'm not taking any account of that. He would collect some money, he would pay some money, it was all at his will. But I would never take this very seriously. This time he got into trouble because there was some misunderstanding with the prince. And so the prince has created this situation without my knowledge. But I actually think that they are all like my relatives. So he's saying all these things to be, communicated to Lord Chaitanya. And then in verse 122 purport, Srila Prabhupada is quoting from Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's that how the position of Rajamundry is, how it was at that time, how the location has changed now. So in this section, we are reading that how how Pratap Rudra Maharaj is very very cautious that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu should not think that I'm doing any favor on. Yeah, let's read 5 more verses. Okay, I'll just read it. 126. ताहा लागी द्रव्य छाड़ी इहा मत जाने साहा जेती मोरा प्रीति ayataha sane. Because of my intimate relationship with them, I have absolved Gopinath Patnaik of all his debts. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does not know this fact. Whatever I have done is because of my intimate relationship with the family of Bhamanand Rai. So he's trying to tell trying that Kashi Mishra should tell this to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that I have everything that is happening is because of my intimate relationship with the family of Bhavanand Rai. Yeah, Swati Mataji, you want to read?
Okay. Hare
Mataji,
Krishna.
Hare
Okay.
Krishna. After you, Mataji, I will read.
Oh, you want to read the translation?
No, after you, I will read. Means 5 shlokas you are reading now.
No, Mataji, you read. We'll just read till 1:30 and close for today. So you can read.
Okay, Mataji. Okay,
Yeah.
Mataji.
Yeah.
Suniya Rajara Vinaya Prabhura Ananda Kena Kale Aila Tata Raya Bhavananda. Translation by Shla Prabhupada Ki Jai. Having heard from Kashi Mishra all these statements concerning the king's mentality, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy. At that time, Bhavananda Raya arrived there. पांचापुत्र साहित्य आसी खड़ीला शरणे उत्थान प्रभु सांद्रे कैला आलिंगने. Translation by Prabhupada Ki Jai. Bhavananda Raya, along with his 5 sons, fell at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who lifted him up and embraced him. Ramananda Raya Adi Sabhay Milila Bhavananda Raya Sabe Balite Lagila. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Thus Ramananda Raya, all his brothers and their father met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then Bhavananda Raya began speaking. तुम्हारा किंकारा एई सबा मोरा कुला एई विपदे राखी प्रभु पुना नीला मोला. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. All these members of my family, he said, are your eternal servants. You have saved us from this great danger. Therefore, you have purchased us for a proper price.
Hare Krishna.
Thank
Thank you,
you,
Mataji.
Mataji. Thank you.
So we read that how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was feeling that, why did Kashi Mishra tell the king and now the king has absolved Gopinath Patnaik of all the debt. So this is like an indirect, indirectly he's like paying Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then Kashi Mishra is giving all these explanations to, which Maharaj Pratap Rudra had given him. That it is because of, my intimate relationship with the whole family that I'm doing all these things. So it is not that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu should feel that it is a favor to him. And when Lord Chaitanya hears all these things from Kashi Mishra, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very happy. And at that time, Bhavanand arrives there with his 5 sons, and all of them fall at the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya lifts him up and embraces him. And Ramanand Rai is there, all his brothers, their father, everyone meets Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then Bhavanand Rai begins speaking that these members of my family, we are all your eternal servants, and you have saved us from this great danger. So you have purchased us, my Lord, for a proper price. So they're obviously feeling very grateful for the mercy of the Lord, and they are expressing that. Yes. So we'll stop here at 1:30. Any questions, comments? No?
Hare
Okay.
Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Mataji,
Yes, Prabhu.
here Lord King Pratap Rudra, because to favor, as because the pure devotee of the Supreme Lord, he has accepted all their commitments. And So, being a devotee, Ramananda Rai understands they have made a big aparat to the king. Is it government? Is it not, Mataji?
Yeah, Prabhu, not Ramanand Rai, but yeah, I mean, yes, like that's what Lord Chaitanya was trying to teach that lesson to Gopinath Patnaik also, that whatever was due, he should have paid that on time.
Yes.
So, yeah, so yes, like this is the learning for everyone that even though we are devotees, we don't have to think that we are above the law. Any kind of law, we have to follow that. That's what Lord Chaitanya is also very strictly saying that. That's why he's
Yes.
never blaming the king. He's always
Yes.
saying that the king is right in demanding his dues. So
Of
yes,
course,
Prabhu, that is the
that
learning.
Prince decision is little bit harsh. But thing is,
Mm.
what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said is 100% perfect, and king has taken this decision only to favor Prabhu to stay in Puri. Other than that, other ordinary people, they won't be give so much of concession for them. So that is the lesson for us, Mataji. Yes, I do agree. So see, devotees will be saved in either means. So thing is, we have to be cautious. Even though we are devotees, we are not supposed to commit all these things in our
Yes,
personal life also. In
yes.
whatever may be big or small thing. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Yeah,
Krishna, ma'am.
Prabhu. So that is a shloka that we read yesterday, na, that
Yes,
some accidental fall down, the Lord will still protect the devotee. But we have to be very careful that we don't make a habit of this.
yes, Mataji. Yes, yes. I do agree. Yes.
So,
Thank you.
Mataji,
Hare Krishna, ma'am. I just have one doubt. The king actually waved, but he didn't want to disclose the truth to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
To Lord
But the
Chaitanya.
king's son is the one who gave the punishment, right? So won't they ask him as to why the punishment has been waived? He's been promoted. I mean, I'm just a
The
little
king
curious.
The ruler is the king, Mataji.
His
So
choice.
even though so when the ultimate decision of the king will prevail. That's why he had brought the prince also, na? It's not like he just brought Gopinath Patnaik and gave the judgment. He gave the judgment in front of the prince also. He called both of them.
Got
So
it.
his decision will stand.
Like sort of done. Sure,
Yes, Padma
Mataji.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
so Mataji, why did Kashi Mishra come in between and explain all this?
Mataji, if he had not explained, then all these things would not have happened because, see, these things were happening without Maharaj Pratap or Rudra's knowing, na? So
Yeah.
that being a devotee, Kashi Mishra wanted to explain the whole situation to Maharaj Pratap Rudra that he should know. Because, see, Lord Chaitanya was going to take this very drastic step of leaving Jagannath Puri.
Yeah.
So that had to be stopped. So Kashi Mishra was taking all steps to ensure that Lord Chaitanya doesn't
Okay.
leave.
He was like the mediator to clear
Yeah, he
the
was like the
scene.
mediator. Yes, yes.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you
Hare
all.
Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Mataji, it is whether materialistic world or spiritual world, it is only His mercy can save us from everything. He is the one
Yes,
who gives us everything, no Mataji.
very true, Mataji. That's
It is
what we
His
have to
lila, everything.
realize and remember. Yes,
Mataji, whatever is going on in our life, it is all His mercy, His prasadam for us.
correct. Very true, Mataji. Absolutely right. Okay. Okay.
Thank you,
So
Mataji.
thank you
Hari
all.
Bol.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatrubhyascha. Kripa sindhubhyaya Patitanam
Patitanam
pavane.
pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Anandkoti
Anandkoti
Vaishnav
Vaishnava
ki
Koti
jai,
Ki
Shri
Jai.
Chaitanya Charitamrita ki
Shri
jai, Shri
Prabhupada Ki
Krishna
Jai.
Kaviraj Goswami ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Guru Maharaj.
Jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank
Hare
you all.
Krishna,
Mataji, this is
Mataji.
the last book, no, Mataji? This is the last book we are doing, no?
This is the last Leela Mataji, last part of
9 to Antya Leela 9 to 20. Yesterday I was thinking about finish this.
what Mataji? No, we'll start something else, Mataji. We'll
I
start
said
something.
yesterday I was thinking
Antya
CC
Leela.
Antya Leela is going to finish, right? This end of this year it should finish by that time. We are going to miss the class.
We'll start something else, Mataji. With you all must be knowing Ashish Prabhu is now initiated. So Achintya
Yeah,
Gopi.
yesterday.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes.
But how can we
Chaitanya Bhagavata, we will start, Mataji.
Okay, how to wish him, how to congratulate him?
You want his number?
Yeah, because how to, such a good thing, you know, we are helpless. What to do?
You can just reply, no, Mataji.
But in that group, only admins can.
Oh, you just save his number and message him, Mataji. That's totally fine.
Okay, give me his number.
Yeah, I'll message you, Mataji.
Yeah. Okay, put in the group, Mataji.
Okay,
So
okay.
we all
Sure,
can
sure.
send out
Yes,
greetings.
yes,
Sure,
Mataji.
sure.
Yeah.
I'll do.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank
So
you,
yeah, so Achintya Gopinath Prabhu, hopefully he'll think of something else for us to do in this time.
Mataji.
Yes.
That we keep getting the association. Yeah.
Yes,
But this book
Mataji.
is very interesting, Mataji. Chaitanya Charitamrita. Very
Very
interesting.
nectar. Very nectar.
Very high also.
Very true.
So much
Yeah.
Has
well.
everything. Has everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you all.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Mataji,
Hare
Hare Krishna.